everybody. It's so great to be with you all again. Thank you for joining me on a Thursday. Sorry about the missed streams earlier this week. And also, I will be doing the Disney release video after this. So I guess I could have done, it's interesting. I had to let these two big stories, the Universal and the Penguin story, kind of percolate in my mind. And I feel now I'm ready to discuss them with you. I think they're both very interesting. But it's so nice to see everybody. As usual, if you are a member, you may comment. We interact a little bit during the stories. And then at the end of the stream, as always, there's 10 minutes of Ask Me Anything. And if you're like Jaden Milojevic, if you join during a stream, you'll get a shout out. So also Bob Fleetham, thank you for joining. And I see Bobby Rosas just joined as well. So nice to see everybody. So the other videos that are coming out this week, I'll do the Disney release things this evening. Thank you, Podge Durka. I'm trying a different look with my eye makeup, so I really appreciate that. It's always hard to change things up a little bit. Then also tomorrow, I'm watching Doom Patrol right now, the first 5 episodes, so I'll have a review for Doom Patrol up tomorrow. And then a couple of other little things. And then also, I'll be working on Sunday because not only will there be movie math, but it's the Emmys and a bunch of shows that we like are nominated this year. Wow, a lot of them. So I will definitely, I might even make a video. Let's see how late the Emmys run. At the very least, I will certainly do an Emmy review in the morning on Monday, but I'll be live tweeting them. So you can watch the Emmys with me. We'll have a fabulous time. I don't know if Elizabeth Olsen's going to get an Emmy. That would really be amazing. That would be great for me, boy, because that would really make everybody like the Emmys a lot more and make people more interested in them. So we'll see. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on. Happy birthday, the last millennial. That's funny. You're the last millennial, so your birthday is the end of millennialdom, apparently. That's funny. I like that name a lot. You have a good name there. All right, so let's get started. We've got 3 very good stories today. This is this is such a strong lineup. I was like, maybe I should have made videos about these. All right, here we go. Story number 1. Boop. All right, so Christopher Nolan, he had a bad breakup with Warner Brothers, boy. Warner Brothers is like, Chris, baby, we gave you everything you wanted. And he's like, I don't like the way you treat my friends. And he left. And he was real public about it. He didn't even do it secretly. And Warner Brothers missed their window to say, we don't want your stupid movie. So they got dumped. And I think everybody handled the situation poorly. It's not professional. Why would you make enemies like this? It seems ridiculous to me. So anyway, Christopher Nolan's like, peace out. I'm going to Universal, or Uni as we like to call it, where Steven Spielberg is. So Universal's like, we don't make a lot of movies, but when we do, it's impressive. Although, of course, Steven Spielberg's West Side Story is for Disney Fox. And they're like, we are above such ridiculous petty arguments because we just rule everything. So anyway, yes. So I do think that is quite the pair for Universal to have in their stable. So good for them. Now, why is everybody fighting about a crappy movie about the inventor of the atom bomb? It's clearly an Oscar play. I think it's funny, by the way. Universal released 1917, which was a big awards winner, and deservedly so. Very good movie. And it's funny because who directed that? But Sam Mendes, who's made a film career out of just being copying Christopher Nolan. He just totally copies Christopher Nolan. And he's living Christopher Nolan's best life. Sam Mendes gets to direct the Bond movies that Christopher Nolan always wanted to do. And now then he directed the Oscar-winning war movie that Christopher Nolan has always wanted to do. And I just think it's absolutely hilarious. Sam Mendes is totally single white, I guess in this case, mailing him instead of femaling him. And he's doing incredibly well. So here comes Nolan being like, I can't believe that I'm following Sam Mendes. This is ridiculous. Although I have to say, I do like Christopher Nolan's work. I think he's a little bit like Alfred Hitchcock. You always kind of know what you're going to get, and there's value in that. But I don't think he's made a movie anywhere good as The Dark Knight to this day. I think he's still riding those coattails. I thought that Tenet, did I say it right? Tenet? I thought Tenet was pretty good. I know some people hated Tenet, but I thought, Sohn was just like it sucked. I kind of liked it, to be honest with you. I mean, I didn't risk my life to see it in a theater, so I saw it after all the the first hype. But I thought it was pretty good. You know, it wasn't as good as The Dark Knight, but it was not bad. And he really totally messed up The Dark Knight Rises because those should have been 2 movies, but Nolan was like, I'm only making one more Batman movie. And so and that's right. Mika says Nolan copies Michael Mann. You're right. Michael Mann is the original. He should be the most annoyed. He's like, and he has the worst career of the 3 of them. That sucks. Does Sam Mendes have a better career than Christopher Nolan? His movies don't make it, although Mendes' Bond made $1 billion. Interesting. Discuss amongst yourselves. All right, so why is everyone fighting over a movie about the invention of the atom bomb during World War II, which will maybe star either Cillian Murphy or Mark Rylance? I think they want his next movie. I think that's what all these studios were fighting over. They weren't fighting over who got to release that film, but who got to be the new home of Nolan. And he could totally mess them up and be like, haha, I've had my affair, and go back to Warner Brothers. You know, you just don't know. Warner Brothers might be like, I hope that makes you feel better, Chris. And he's like, it does. And now, because they want his really big next blockbuster. That's what they want. Even though Tenet didn't really make any money for anybody or get any awards. So, although it did elevate Robert Pattinson's career, and I think to some degree John David Washington. But anyway, that's what everybody actually wants. All the studios were actually like, we want to be the new home of Christopher Nolan. So they apparently all went to his compound, like the king's going to visit Jesus. They were like, okay, let's bring some stuff for him. So they all go to his house where he edits his work, and he works out of his compound. They called it a compound in the trades. And he had a high list of demands. He's like, I am Jesus. He's like, here's what I want. I want total creative control, 20% of the first dollar gross. That means before anyone takes anything out of it, before there's any recouping of expenses, etc. He wants 20% off the top. That's ridiculous. All right, and then I would just laugh. So anyway, I'd be like, no, but only Steven Spielberg, I feel, is this good. But anyway, then he wants, and I don't even think Steven Spielberg would ask for this. Although Steven Spielberg does get a cut for life of Universal Studios theme parks, although I feel he deserves that. And it's not 20%, I don't think. All right, then he says he wants 100 to 130-day exclusive theatrical window. All right, so they're going down to 45 days. It used to be like 72. He wants 100 to 130. On a movie about the invention of the atom bomb, which of course needs to be seen in theaters, wink, wink, I say sarcastically. And then he wants a blackout period where the Universal, because they won this, can't release another movie 3 weeks before or after his film. Any movie, not even just like a similar movie. He's like, no, this has to be the only Universal film for 6 weeks. Again, nobody would ever agree to this for a movie about the inventor of the atom bomb, but they would to get his next movie. So, if I'd get that in writing. You know what? That's what I'd do. If I were, and then I'd be like, damn you, Universal, for just giving him what he wanted. But if I were another studio executive, I'd say, okay, I will give you this ridiculous list of demands if you sign on for 2 pictures, and your second picture must be a blockbuster. Then I will give you this ridiculous list. I hope he enjoys 20% and nothing, because I don't think anyone's going to see this movie. Maybe they will. Let's see what 1917 grew. 1917 was really great, though. I'd be like, do you have a gimmick where you don't cut the camera like 1917? Because, is that what we're going to do with this atom bomb thing? He's like, no, just Mark Rylance or Cillian Murphy are just going to be real sad about dooming the world. And I'll be like, oh my God. That's the other thing. Christopher Nolan, while he's a very good visual filmmaker, he doesn't have very good heart. And that's why he doesn't win Oscars, because he doesn't he's also horrible with female characters, like horrible, which is weird to me because his wife is the producer on his films. But anyway, that's why it's going to be almost, and also, I don't know, because he wants total creative control. That's right, warmth, Jerome. That's a good way to put it. Because he doesn't have any warmth in his films, that really hurts him, particularly when it comes to awards. And here's the thing, since he won't take any creative control, a studio executive can't say anything to him. A studio executive can't be like, hey, Chris, maybe you should have some warmth. And then he'll be like, no, did you not see my contract? Get out of here. And I'll be like, so 1917 made 159 domestic, 225 international, and 384 total. So let's figure out what his percentage on that would be. So, hey, it's not bad, okay? So let's see here. 385 we'll do it as. Maybe that's why he wants 20%, because he knows it's going to be low. I'm sure some of you are math whizzes who are like, I have the number, but I'm not that tight. I can't do computations in my head. 385 times 0.2, 77 million! Oh my God! No, I would not do that. I'd be like, what the hell's left for me? Chris, you have to take out, you just get 77 million, but out of my cut, I have to take out the operating expenses and the advertising expenses. Oh my God. All right, let's do Dunkirk. I'd never give him it, just because I wouldn't want to sit in my home knowing that he walked away with $77 million. Honestly, that's how I would feel. I'd be like, just for that reason alone, I just couldn't live with myself if I knew that I gave you that much money. Okay. For nothing. For a movie about the invention of the atomic bomb. Okay, so let's see Dunkirk. All right, Dunkirk make 527. Wow. Is Harry Styles going to invent the atomic bomb? Okay, 527. Maybe Christopher Nolan's like, yes, he is. And I'll be like, you're a genius. All right, let's do 527. Oh, my God. That's $105 million. That's nuts. Now, yes, of course, Christopher Nolan has to give that some to his agent. He has to give some to his manager and to his lawyer and all those people. But no. I would just say no. Especially if he didn't give me a second film. If he didn't give me a second movie, guaranteed, there's no way I would say yes to this. I'd be like, no. So, it's funny to watch. It's funny to watch. Hey, you know what I got to tell you? If I were Warner Brothers, I'd be like, hey, man, enjoy it. You want to give that to Christopher Nolan? Go ahead. I don't care. That's what I would honestly, I don't think Warner Brothers should feel bad about this at all. I don't think it's really fair. I think Warner Brothers is really kind to their filmmakers. Lisa says he has an agent. Why does he need an agent? He might have an agent or a manager. You don't need both, but you do need someone to Here's why you need it. Because Christopher Nolan doesn't want to ask for that himself. That's the main reason you need a representative. I've told you the Bing Crosby story, right? If you don't remember, I'll tell you that now. So Bing Crosby, of course, is known for being a sweetheart, but he was actually in real life a really difficult person who really wanted everything that he felt he deserved. So that's why you have an agent. So his agent would go in and be like, give this to Bing. Bing is worth it. Bing won't show up if you don't do this. And then Bing could just be like, hadla, hadla, ho. And everyone would be like, Bing could just be like, oh, my agent's so mean. But in reality, Bing was telling his agent to be mean. That's what an agent or manager does. They go in there. Because also, if Christopher Nolan says he wants 20% of off the top, you'd be like, you're what an asshole. That's what you would say. But if his agent comes in and says, what would you give Universal to have Christopher Nolan leave Warner Brothers for your studio? Suddenly Universal goes, maybe we should do it. You just can't ask for that stuff yourself. That's why you have to have an intermediary. And that's what that person is. Fascinating. That's just absolutely insane. Wow. All right. I would wonder how this would affect Christopher Nolan with fans. I think people just see 20% and they don't realize the number. That's just incredible. Rahul, it's apparently not a multi-movie deal. It's just for this one thing. And that's right, Mika. Warner Brothers is like, I'm still making money off your old movies, Nolan. So we'll see what happens. This movie better be amazing because it'll be hilarious if it is not. I think that's another thing. It better be real good. We'll see. All right. So I thought Dunkirk had a lot of problems. I thought it could have been much better. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. And they're not even talking about the budget for this movie. Like, Universal's going to have to shell out a ton of money to. How expensive could it be, though? Nolan's like, I want to be inside the atomic bomb when it goes off. And I'd be like, oh my God, you're killing me, Nolan. All right. So that's the first story of the day. That turned out to be a very entertaining discussion, even more so than I expected it to be. All right, so let's go to the second story of the day. Boop. All right, so I'm also glad I thought about this one a little bit. Hey, Dominic Ryan. That's a great picture. That's really cute. All right, so welcome, Dominic Ryan. So the second story of the day is that we were all shocked to see that HBO Max was like, hey, you're getting a Penguin show as a spinoff from the Batman. And we don't even know for a fact if Colin Farrell is even going to be in it. And I was thinking to myself, Richard Kind should be like, this is my moment. Because you made him look like me. Maybe I can now finally star on the show. Although in that picture, he looks a little bit like Robert De Niro. Why would you want like a fake Robert De Niro? You'd be like, hey, what if we could get Robert De Niro? But that's a funny thing Hollywood could do. Robert De Niro wouldn't agree to be in our movie. So what if we just stuck a bunch of prosthetics on another actor and made them look like the actor that we wanted? And you'd be like, what? So that's kind of weird. I can kind of see Colin Farrell under that makeup, though, which I find amusing. All right, so anyway, here was my first reaction to this news when I looked into it. I was like, why wouldn't you just put him on the GCPD show? Right? Like, why wouldn't the GCPD show just feature a Penguin storyline? Why does Penguin need his own show? I mean, isn't that like two shows that are a spinoff of the Batman, which cover pretty much the exact same thing? And since I'm pretty sure Robert Pattinson isn't going to be on either of these shows, as Rahul just beat me to it, they're basically just doing a more expensive version of Gotham. And I watched Gotham. I watched every single episode of Gotham, so the joke's on me. But I don't want to do that again. We already did that. I don't need to do that again. Also, Penguin, this morning, hey Todd, this morning it hit me. I was like, oh, hey, wait a minute. I think they feel like this could be like Joker. They're like, hey, everybody loved a Joker movie. What if there was Penguin? And I'm like, nobody wants to see Penguin. They would love to see Ivy or Harley if you could finally get it right. They'd love to see Freeze even. You could even do Freeze. But I mean, like, I feel like Penguin is a tough sell. This is going to apparently be... Now, Penguin actually is a small role in the new Batman movie, but he's involved in a very important, sub-storyline. He's, we'll see. Obviously, they're watching the dailies, and they're like, wow, Colin Farrell's really nailing this. And I'd be like, also, I'd be concerned. I'd be like, you do know that Colin Farrell has unfortunately jinxed, like, everything he's at. I would love a Catwoman show, Steven. I would love that with Zoe Kravitz. But, I mean, like, there's just... Yeah, Catwoman, Keith also said that, and Gary as well. Catwoman had a wonderful solo comic, where she teamed up with, what was that guy, some detective that she had an affair with. Darwin Cook did this before he passed away. It was just phenomenal. It was just such a good show, a comic, and it would be a wonderful series. And, Sam Spade, that's what it, no, that's it was something Spade, right? Sam Spade is actually Slam Bradley. It was nothing like I said. You're right, the Dark Savior 755. It was Slam Bradley. And that was great. They even had like a little Vegas adventure that was like a graphic novel spin-off. It was fantastic. So, yeah, I mean, I would rather see that with Zoe Kravitz, quite frankly, who looks phenomenal in what we've seen. And that's right, Sohn. I believe Zoe Kravitz would be available. So I don't know why they're doing a Penguin show, and I don't know why it's its own show instead of part of this GCPD show. So I'm a little nervous. We'll see how it turns out. We'll see if Colin Farrell signs on. I'm sure his agent, speaking of agents, was like, oh, wow, thanks for announcing this show before my client had a deal. Now that you've released it, you have to give me more money. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, also, I'm worried about what characters are going to show up on these shows. Are they going to let them use good characters? They're not doing the Bane tease anymore at the end of Peacemaker, apparently. And I feel like that was like the only thing that I think was really a strong hook for that. I'm working my way through the Peacemaker scripts, and hey, Mika Man, I have to tell you, Peacemaker seems very Doom Patrol-like to me. It's weird. I'm watching Doom Patrol, which is overlapping with Titans, and they're all very similar. And one little problem I have is they have all these things, Peacemaker hasn't done this yet, but where they have all these things where, like on Titans and Doom Patrol, where they're like, this is a metaphor for what your life is going through. You're in an abandoned theater. And I'm like, man, Disney Plus can afford to actually send Loki to an alternate universe. Why am I still dealing with these cheap metaphors? So that's a little bit frustrating to watch. You know, they're like, oh, this isn't a bus. It's your mind. I'm like, we all know it's a bus. And I think before we were forgiving of that, but now that we see other companies spending the money to create these worlds, actually, I mean, I think Doom Patrol can kind of get away with it because of the quirkiness of the show. But when I'm just sitting through it with Titans as well, I'm like, oh man, come on. All right. So anyway, yeah, Danny's a bus now. Oh, he's not even a town anymore. All right. They're like, this stuff's expensive. All right, so that's the second story. Who here, I mean, we're all going to watch this show. That was going to be the close of my video for the Penguin thing when I was going to do that, but something came up on Monday night, which is why I couldn't do it. But I was like, we're all watching Doom Patrol, Titans, Harley Quinn. We're watching these shows. We are there. But it's not nearly enough people to make these shows successful. So it's clearly not working. So they really need to fix this. It's a problem. By the way, Christopher just brought up Tim Drake on Titans. That actor's phenomenal. I'm 2 episodes ahead of you. I think he's really talented. I really like him a lot. I think he could have a really good career, like just overall. Zachary's like, I'm only watching Harley. Ha! That's funny. Let's see. Charlie, I understand how excited you are for the Batman and Harley Quinn season 3, because that's how excited I am. All right, so let's go to the third story of the day. We're all booped out. It's time for Boom, baby. Wonka. Wonka has added another cast member, and it's Keegan Michael Key. Remember how Keegan Michael Key was the more successful of the two for a while, and then Jordan Peele just like blasted past him? And Keegan Michael Key hasn't been able to recover. I feel bad about it. He's on Schmigadoon, which no one's talking about. I think Keegan Michael Key is so talented. I just think he's so great, but it's not clicking. Maybe this will be it. Maybe this will be what clicks. And I think it's a very good addition to this cast because I think it's going to help broaden the appeal of the film. So, as we all know, Timothée Chalamet is playing young Wonka for Paul King, who directed the 2 Paddington movies. Which were, I thought, Wes Anderson. Talk about ripping off another filmmaker. Paul King's just walking around ripping off Wes Anderson. Wes Anderson's not directing Wonka. Maybe he should have. Maybe he should have. I don't know. Wes Anderson, I don't think, wants to make big movies. He just wants to sit and play with his... Wes Anderson just wants to play with his toys by himself. But I don't know. But basically, that's what it is. Paul King is a Wes Anderson that can be bought. The studios are like, excellent. Keegan Michael Key also did the Jingle Jangle Christmas movie on Netflix, which seems like a similar vibe to Wonka. That never really took off for some reason, which I think they debuted it too early. It was debuted before Thanksgiving, and you're like, what's the Christmas movie coming out now for? Also, of course, Netflix doesn't advertise anything. They're like, it's like Darwinism over on Netflix. They're like, if it's meant to survive, it will. And they're like, you can't help me out a little bit? So anyway, he's going to, I believe the word on the street is that Keegan Michael Key will be playing a singing police officer who maybe there's shenanigans in Wonka Land. We'll see what happens. But I'd be curious to see him and Timothée Chalamet together. If Timothée Chalamet doesn't become a big star after Dune and Wonka, there just ain't no helping him. This is it. This is his chance. Just like, I think Ryan Gosling had his shot with Blade Runner. Although he does have the gray man with Chris Evans. Although Chris Evans is struggling outside of Marvel. Sufjan, I'm so glad you enjoyed Dune, and Timothy was great in it. It's so weird that Dune is playing now in some countries. It's the longest, most ridiculous rollout ever. It's like nuts. I'm not doing the New York Film Festival this year because I don't want to deal with COVID. So I'm not sure when I'm going to see it. And I think Warner Brothers was like, oh, do you want to go to the TIFFs, to the New York Film Festival screening? And I'm like, I don't know, like, how crowded is it going to be? You know, like, my Suicide Squad screening was fantastic. It was a little late, but that way it wasn't too crowded. I was in an IMAX, the IMAX on 68th Street. It was just so great. I was like, if we could duplicate that for my Dune experience, I would be a very happy camper. That's what I would like. That's what I'm going for. I don't care if I only see Dune like right before it opens. I don't want to be stressed out by having too many people in the theater. I really wish that movie theaters would have kept the social distancing. The idea of someone sitting right next to me in a movie theater just freaks me out. I'm still not able to do it. All right, so hold on. Those are the 3 stories of the day. It is 3:16. Did they drop that trailer for? Nope. I'm trying to see when they're going to drop. I don't know who drops the trailer at the end of the day. I'm waiting for this Nightmare Alley trailer to drop to react to it. That's why we did an early stream today, because if I waited to stream until 4 o'clock, that's when that trailer would drop, and I'd be like, "Are you kidding me?" So that's why we did it this way. So you can ask me anything you'd like until 3:27. Steven says, what are your thoughts on the Kristen Stewart Spencer buzz? It's getting rave reviews and it seems to be a frontrunner for Oscar. Will you be reviewing it? I don't know if I'm going to review it. I'm not going to like go out of my way to try and see that movie. But I think she could be an Oscar. I mean, I think it's going to be another one of those like crazy years for Oscars. So I don't know if she's going to win, but I could see her getting nominated. Dominic says, have you heard seen about... Dominic, I take it you're not on Twitter because am I been embroiled in the Venom end credit scene. Don't read Dominic's comment because Dominic spoiled way more than I did on that end credit scene. I mean, I think clearly they know that the thing that's going to get you the most excited about seeing Venom 2 is the end credit scene. So, they're that stupid. Raphael says, Chris Evans in the new Bodyguard movie. I think that would be great. I think that would be a really good idea, but I don't know if he'd want to do it. I think it depends who the Bodyguard movie. I mean, fans are pretty upset they're remaking that. So it's really crucial who they cast in the Whitney Houston role and who directs it and stuff like that. Hey, that one moody guy. That's funny. Your picture really matches you. Matt Go, I don't know if I'm going to watch. Everybody's talking about Jamie. I think it's coming out too close to Cinderella. Also, I have a family commitment this weekend, and then my time will free up a little bit more after that. Hocus Focus says, Only Murders in the Building is getting a second season. I'm excited. I love that show. Love it. Devin says, how much money does a movie need to make in comparison to its budget to be successful? Great question, Devin. A movie to break even has to have double its budget and advertising costs. And at that point, it breaks even. Because the way the sliding scale works on box office revenue share between the theater and the studio, it works out maybe now these days because it's so front loaded, maybe a little bit more than 50%, but 50% is still the basic rule. Juan, I do watch 9 Perfect Strangers, but I didn't watch the last episode because the episode before it I thought got like really weird, and I was like, this show might have just jumped the shark. But I'll still finish it. But I'm getting a little bit of a backup of things I need to watch. AJ Jones says, hey Grace, plans for future watch-alongs. Maybe we'll do something around Halloween. We're definitely going to do watch-alongs for Hawkeye. Let me see. Once What If wraps, maybe we'll probably do some more watch-alongs then. Jay King says, thoughts on Denise comments about Marvel. How hard is it to say no comment? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I totally agree, especially because Denis Villeneuve would be lucky to make a Marvel movie. And Shang-Chi is a really well-made movie from a directing standpoint. I mean, if he said that after Black Widow, I'd be like, I can see maybe why he's saying that. But that's really insulting to Shang-Chi and to what Destin Daniel Cretton accomplished there. So I don't appreciate that at all. I don't know why you wouldn't just... I mean, I don't know. I don't think you can say no comment because then that becomes a story in and of itself. They're like, oh, Denis Villeneuve didn't have anything nice to say, so he decided to say nothing at all. What was he going to say? I think that maybe Denis Villeneuve is like, I'm going to try and jump on the Martin Scorsese Marvel hate train. And I'm like, I don't think Scorsese likes being on that train, to be honest with you. He's on it for way longer than I think he ever thought he would be. I think that Denis Villeneuve should have just said, I'm really impressed with how successful that franchise is, and congratulations to them. I mean, it is the most successful franchise of all time. Let me look it up the number for you. I was just seeing this the other day, and I was like, that's nuts. I mean, I just think people are jealous. They're haters. They're haters, man. They're haters. All right, let's see here. Franchises. The most successful franchise of all time, by far, is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It has made $8.8 billion total. It beats Star Wars by almost $4 billion. You can't say anything negative about that. Hollywood is a business to make money. It's not a charity. So Kevin Feige wins. Hey, Luke R. Any DCEUT, says Barbie. Well, I told you the Titans announcement is coming soon. Yeah, I told you. I was watching Titans the other day, and I was like, this show, crazy. But yet, I think it's got to be billions, Evelyn. It can't be trillions. Oh, yeah, that's right, Juan. Domestic. Are those domestic numbers on that stupid thing? Yeah, they are. International. Oh, worldwide. Okay, thank you. Worldwide, it gets even more interesting. Worldwide, Marvel is at $23 billion. $23 billion! Christopher Nolan's like, give me 20% of that. I'll even take 5% of it. $23 billion, and Star Wars is at $10 billion. So it has double the revenue of Star Wars. That's because also it's 35 movies to 15. People just can't get enough MCU. Feed me, baby. Hey, Sean Malia. Rachel did show up on Titans for me. She looks beautiful, but I don't know, she's got nothing to do. Barbie Minaj, I will definitely review The Witcher Season 2. I'm going to be working next Saturday. That's it is. When you're in the entertainment business, you got to work on some crazy days. So next Saturday, my weekend is spoken for. I'm going to be planted right here, covering the Netflix big day. That's right, Hocus Pocus. Kevin Feige had a fatality of the whole industry. And I think they're just jealous. You don't see Kevin Feige saying anything mean about anybody, do you? Sean, I'm going to do a separate video on the new Marvel release dates after this. We've got 3 minutes left. Lisa, the new Witcher season comes out for the holidays. Hey, present progressive. I got to work a lot of Saturdays. DC Fandom is on a Saturday too, although it's much shorter this year, which I appreciate. It's only like 4 hours instead of 8. They've condensed it. It's potent. The more potent DC Fandom. Todd R. What's for dinner tonight? My delicious burrito bowl salad. You squeeze your own lime on it, which is fun. Although once I squeezed the lime and it like totally went to the right and missed the whole salad. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, Mika, a Halloween Kills watch along. But no one's gonna have it because no one has Peacock. If I did a Halloween Kills watch along, would you guys get Peacock? You're like, no, we wouldn't. Who here is going to go see Halloween? I heard Halloween Kills is not good. Do you guys want a Halloween Kills slight spoiler? I don't know if you're saying yes or no to the spoiler or if you're going to watch it on Peacock. Somebody say spoiler so I know. Most people are yes. And the person who said nope, don't worry about it. It's not that big a spoiler. So Jamie Lee Curtis, hey Talon Piner, is only at the end of the movie, pretty much. So the rest of the movie, she's not really in it. So it's a misdirect because they're setting up that her revenge will be the third movie. So for most of the movie, she's not involved. So I think that that's one of the things that like is why it doesn't have great reviews. She's in the movie, Dominic. She's just not in most of it. Adam Sabata, that's a great use of emoji. I like your intellectual curiosity. That's what that emoji should mean. I'm intellectually curious. I hate Kyle Richards right now, Denzel O'Neil, so maybe I'll see it for that. I hate so. Everyone's being so mean to Garcelle on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I was like, I wish I could jump into the television and defend Garcelle. Not one of those bitches will defend her. It's horrible. Oh, Charlie Henderson. We will definitely do a Shang-Chi watch along when it comes out. 100%. Thank you for reminding me. I'm excited to see it yet again. Watching it again, when I saw it the other day, I watched it last Friday with the bus scene again. It was just so great. I was like, this is a work of genius. I got like the whole outline. I'll give you some Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness tea. So I heard that as you know, they're doing reshoots. But I heard that one of the reasons they're doing the reshoots is to add a significant number of characters because they're real low on alternate universe characters, on multiverse characters. I think that they realized that people would be like, that's it? And so they're like, uh-oh. Like there is like, I'm excited because I like the actress, but you would be shocked as to how much America Chavez is in this movie. Like she is like, it feels more like a Doctor Strange. Someone gave me like the outline. So it feels more like a Doctor Strange movie. Hey, Peyton V, than I think any of us anticipated. I think we felt that Doctor Strange 2 would be like Captain America Civil War, where it really felt more like an Avengers film. But instead, it's like a lot of it is Doctor Strange right now. They're doing reshoots, so they'll change stuff. So there's a ton of Wanda Barbie, but she is evil. I don't know how people are going to feel about what they're doing with Wanda. I have problems with it. I don't think problem is too strong a word. I'm a little nervous. But right now, it's like Doctor Strange. The end credit scene's pretty cool, though. It's Doctor Strange, America Chavez, and Christine Palmer for some reason. Running around a lot, and other characters I'm not going to ruin. But I'm like, what? I was surprised. I mean, if I were Rachel McAdams, I'd definitely come back for that. I'd be like, wow, I'm in so much of this movie. Thank you. Carlos, What If is definitely getting a second season. It's already been greenlit, and they've actually moved 2 of the episodes to it. Although, it's doing real bad, I think. I'll be curious to see what the Nielsen rankings are for this coming week after it failed to make the top 10 in its debut. But this week, interest in that episode, which is a shame because I loved it, but it just fell off a cliff. Scott and Scott, Christine Palmer, from what I've heard, is not becoming Clea. Although my tea on that was accurate. Giant asterisks, they are reshooting a large part of this film right now. Raphael says, does Nicolas Cage's career still exist? Yeah, I think it still exists. But I don't think he'll ever get to be a big movie star again. I think he has carved out a nice little niche for himself. Spying Mentor, that West Side Story trailer was way better than I ever thought it would be. I was really impressed. I was like, wow, that never underestimate Steven Spielberg. I think that could be a big Oscar contender. I think that he and Tony Kushner, no shocker there because Tony Kushner's brilliant, did a really good job updating it, but yet keeping it faithful to the original. Like, they had some lines in there that were very appropriate to today's conversations. Yeah, that's right. Ansel Elgort's probably going to really torpedo that. Although I thought he did a really good job with his line delivery. He had one line where he's like, "Is that a problem?" And I was like, "Oh, that's very sexy, Ansel Elgort. You just said one line." But, he's weird. He's weird. Although I have to say, Ansel Elgort's problems online do represent the kind of, what he's representing in the movie to some degree. Also, maybe it'll really back up Maria's family. You're like, yeah, she shouldn't be talking to that guy. She hasn't seen his Instagram account. It's bizarre. That was the old days when, people didn't tell you who they were with their weird social media posts. We have to be fair to Ansel Elgort. Nothing's been proven with Ansel Elgort. It's not like Armie Hammer. That's why I call him Armie Hammer Jr. We have to be fair. Ansel Elgort has just been bizarre. Nothing has been proven about Ansel Elgort to date. Although you shouldn't go trying to hook up with your fans. It's predatory. Keith says, can you hint at the Titans news? Hey, Carrie D, a lot of people guessed it correctly. I mean, I can't really hint at it anymore without actually just saying what it is. I mean, it's like, I think it's pretty clear, as so many people guessed it correctly. Oh my God, it's 3:32. I love talking to you guys so much. I always run over. You guys are the best. You guys are really fun. I love talking to you. Shang-Chi, 45 days, and we'll be watching it together. We're going to have a great time. So you guys are so great. We will have another stream on Monday. Hey, Terry, I'm glad you made it. Let me do a couple of shout-outs. I haven't done shout-outs in a while. So the way this works is that you just tell me something you're doing. What are you up to? Are you eating anything? Or what's going on in your life? Where are you? It just gives me the chance to interact with you. Charlie Henderson says we could literally do a live stream where we just talk. We could, Charlie. You guys are a lot of fun. I love talking to you. Raphael says putting off work with you. I've been there, Raphael. Jerome is in London drinking beet. I've never had a drink of beets. I like a good beet salad. Steven says, oh yes, you were in Florida and Disney World. I saw your pictures online. That's fantastic. You're going to see Tammy Faye tonight. I wonder where you're seeing it. Are you seeing it at the Angelica or Lincoln Square? It's selling a lot of tickets at the Angelica. I like to go online and see how ticket sales are. Todd is, I'm playing PS5 this evening in England. You paint a nice picture, Todd. Peyton says, I'm preparing for my Cinemark job interview, which will be in 30 minutes. It'll be my first job, and I'm so nervous. Oh, Peyton, you got this. Everybody wish Peyton... No, don't wait. Tell Peyton to break a leg on his interview. Peyton, you have to let me know if you get the job. Tell them what an expert you are on movie culture and that I vouch for you. Clip this right here. Cinemark, you should hire Peyton. He's top notch. Keith says, studying for my written driver's test. Oh, break a leg, good luck. Oh, everybody's wishing Peyton good luck. That's so nice. Harlequin Dove says, I just got a CT scan? Either my gallbladder stones are killing me or my appendix is ready to burst. Either way, I'm going to need emergency surgery soon. Wow, Harlequin Dove, that's serious. We, of course, are sending good thoughts to you. I'm glad you're getting medical care, and I'm glad that your hospital is not too crowded with COVID patients so that they can take care of you. Juan Cruz D'Ambrosio says, I am planning my summer vacations with my family here in Argentina. We are between New York or Disney World. Either way, you're having a great vacation. I was going to go to Disney World, but stupid COVID. I'm going to have to put that off again. I'm pretty sad about it. I'm real sad about it, actually. All right. Barbie Minaj is going to go see Shang-Chi in Columbus. Have a great time. Rashad is enjoying my day off, finally starting to watch Star Wars. What do you mean? Like at all? Christopher says, Grace, I'm so glad I got to make it to a live stream. It's been a while, but I'm out in Los Angeles watching you instead of working. That's the way to do it, Chris. Work schmirk. Hocus Focus says enjoying some organic Hershey's chocolate. Tasty. Dominic, the next stream will be on Monday. Carlos is in McDonald's drive-thru. Not sure if getting nuggets or a Big Mac. Nuggets! Get the nuggets so I can live through you, Carlos. Nuggets with some ranch sauce. Oh, very jealous. I've had some McDonald's over the past few months. I had some chances to get it. Had to eat it in the car. So stupid. I was in the McDonald's parking lot with some friends, and everybody was just in their car next to each other eating McDonald's. It was really funny. There was a plant supply store next door, so we were all looking at the nice plants. But it was funny to look down the row, and everybody was just in their car eating McDonald's because they didn't want to go into the restaurant. It was really funny. It was like stupid coronavirus. No, Scott and Scott, I was in New Jersey. I love me some New Jersey. I also played mini golf, which was fantastic. Hey, Podge Durka. You're in London making mushroom risotto. Lovely use of an emoji, Podge Durka. That one moody guy is eating some spinach quesadilla and getting ready to go work now. That sounds great. Not only am I so glad you enjoyed the live stream, but thanks for becoming a member today. Dominic, you just got back from New York? Oh, I hope you had a great time here. I'm not vegan, Luke. I just talked about eating delicious chicken McNuggets. I try not to eat dairy, though. I have given up on the dairy, which means I don't really eat cereal because I like almond milk and my macaroni and cheese, but that's about it. Rashad says he's finally starting to get into Star Wars. Yeah, it can be a lot of fun, I got to tell you. Carlos got both. Nuggets for now and a Big Mac for later. Oh, you're living the best life, Carlos. Jaden just made a homemade cheese pizza. Jack says he's helping my boyfriend in London prepare for his medical finals. Of course I can wish him good luck. Good luck, Jack's boyfriend. You got this. And you have a very cute person helping you. Brett says, hello from Kansas, working on an audition for a friend's Pardoy puppet show. You have to audition for the puppet show? And it's your friends? You should tell your friends just to put you in it. But that's great. I hope it's a good show. Andrea, hey Andrea Vega, always like seeing you on Twitter. Right now, she's making some pasta. I've never seen that emoji. That looks great. All right, I better get going. I had a wonderful time talking to everybody. You guys are the best. I'll see you on Monday. Okay, bye. We had a good laugh at Christopher Nolan, but he's going to laugh last all the way to the bank. Wow, that's nuts. Just remember, when you purchase a movie theater ticket, 20% is going to Christopher Nolan. That's insane. I guess the movie theater gets some of it too, first. That's nuts. Movie business, it's a tough business, but boy, if you can make it. All right, have a great day,